that life for your kids. That means 8 out of 10 things they hear every day, they're being told what to do. How do they learn? How do they get a chance to grow and experience and figure it out? To me, sports is the most magnificent life skill training tool there is, if you let them. Understand this, you have to expect your kids to fail right now. Expect them to fail through sport. However, the only way they can learn and expand and get better is through failure. And if you think about it for us, what do we have? If you're over 35, this is the deal. What I did, I rode my bike uphill both directions in the snow in Mill Valley, because that's what we did, right? And then when on the way home, I would stop, I'd kick my bike to the curb, and there was a ball game, right? And we would play soccer, or baseball, or basketball, or tag, or whatever stupid things we did. And then we get thirsty, and we'd find 2 Coke bottles, and we'd go down to 7-Eleven, we'd turn them in, and then we didn't have enough to get a drink, but we got bubble gum, and that was our day. And then the street light come on, and oh my God, I gotta get home. Anybody have that lifestyle? That was cool, right? That was the wonder years. That was awesome. Your kids can't do that. My kids can't do that. So now all of a sudden we've taken away that other opportunity for them to learn how to deal with success and failure, go through it. I mean, I'll give you an example. We took 9 kids, your kids, put them on the field, 9 of them, and said, here's 4 baseballs, here's 4 bats, here's 4 gloves, and here's 4 bases. Play a game. What would they say? Where's the other team? We don't have enough equipment. Where's the manager? Where's the snack bar, for God's sake? Right? Right? Yeah, we know that one because they got to snack time. Right? I mean, it's a whole different deal. What did we do? What did we do? You know what we did? Damn, okay, I got to get stuck with Lumpy. You get the next one, and I get 2 picks, right? All right, here we go. Let's play. Right? Right field's closed. Pitcher's not as good as first. Right? Wait a second, that was foul. No, it wasn't. It was fair. Yes, it was. Crap. Da-da-da. Okay, whatever. Then, okay. We figured it out, and the game played on. Or we didn't play because you cheat, we left it, and we're done. Whatever it was. Remember those days? You used to figure it out. Your kids don't get a chance to figure it out. You know why? Because they're programmed and told, this is how you do it, and this is what you have to do. So guess what? Our kids are suffering. And I see with my kids every day. Now, I'm going to give you some things that can help you through the process, but you got to understand, your kids are hurting right now. This opportunity you're going to have in baseball, in this league, is the greatest opportunity they're going to have right now, and they're going to expand and expand and expand. So here's how it goes. Do we all agree? Is that what I said makes sense? We're like, anybody scared? Because I am. And I'm thinking, what are we going to do? Right? Our kids are in a place where they're so often told what to do, and the other side of it is they're not allowed to fail. You know what? You know how they know if they won or lost? Because this thing ding, ding, ding said they won. Right? I got 40 points. I got 4,000 points. What'd you do? I don't know. I just beat this little stupid thing around, and that was it. Right? But if we can teach them that they're learning through failure and let them know that it's okay to make a mistake, that's the only time they're going to feel comfortable out there doing it. Because you know what we want? We want kids, when they get up to bat, they want to swing the bat. We don't want kids, when they get up to bat, they're waiting for a walk. Because the fear of striking out is 10 times worse than trying to get that hit or play. Does that make sense? So we have to encourage them. So the way we're going to do that is a couple of lessons that are on here. Number 1, if you take a look, we have to get the players, coaches, and parents on the same page. To get the players, coaches, and parents on the same page, it means that this is what's going to happen. You have to learn through your coach. You have to get on the same page. I'll give you an example. So my daughter, when she's 7, she's playing softball, and it was live pitch. Her mom was a World Series Division II softball player, very good. Okay? So she knows the game, she can hit, she can do it all. She goes up to bat for her first ever at bat with live pitching. Now I'm standing back here just listening, and I hear Coach say to Mia, hey Mia, honey, I know you're nervous because it's your first time in the box and this and that. She happened to be the first batter of the day. Don't even swing at the first pitch. Just get comfortable and see what it looks like coming in. Okay? Sounds like sound advice. Lovely to hear. So her mom's over, come on baby, you're a hitter, you can do this, baby, you can do it. Come on, sweetie, just like we practice. Right? The first pitch comes in, and guess what? It's a strike. So what does Mia do? She doesn't swing. Coach said don't swing. Okay. Mom says, honey, what's the matter? That was perfect. Why didn't you swing? Come on, baby, you're a hitter. Come on, you can do this. Just like you showed, remember? Elbow up, snap the wrist, follow through, squish the bug, you can do it, come on, you're a hitter, right? All the things that you remember and that, and here we go. So now my daughter, at 7, has to make a decision between the coach is supposed to know what's going on and the mom that feeds her. Knock it off, parents, right? Get on the same page with the coaches. And if you do that, your child has a chance. If not, they're going to be in limbo the entire time. They're going to be trying to figure this out the entire time. Okay? So for me, what we call like-minded or one voice, find out what these parent coaches are teaching your kid and figure it out. Now you're going to have to develop trust. I tell every coach when I show up, I say, you have my most prized thing. Don't screw it up. And I'm literally very direct and serious, and I'm here to support you 100%. But if you go sideways at all, I'm going to be the first one right there. Okay? And I think they know that I'm there to support, but they also know that I think we all will say the same thing. That's your child. Don't mess it up, right? Don't blow this experience, because what you got to realize is most kids quit playing youth sports after just 2 seasons. Why? Discouraged, too much pressure to be successful. Now understand this, your child is probably going to get out 70% of the time when they play baseball. Think about this. Eric, if you had a guy that was 23 years old and ended up playing 10 seasons in Major League Baseball, got out 7 out of 10 times, struck out half of those times, what would he be at the end of those 10 years?
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Where else in life can you fail 70% of the time and be a Hall of Famer? Right? Happy, rich, the whole thing comes with it. So this is such a great place, because don't we want our kids in life to be able to learn to fail fast, fail forward, and come through that? The sooner they learn that, and the more you can celebrate it, the better. So part of this process is going to be you're accepting the fact that that's going to happen. They're going to have success when they hit it home, and they hit on the tee, in the closed environment, or whatever you do. But as soon as it gets out there, and all of a sudden there's all these different changes in environment, everything changes. And you have to help them to be able to figure that focus out. Believe it or not, especially how many have young girls that are playing? Anybody? So my daughter, very important for them, and young girls that play sports. There's a study out that says that 96% of the top 3% of the money earners in the nation that are female competed in a team sport through their sophomore year in high school at a minimum. So just that's on the female side. And I don't know if it's because they understand it's a man's world, or how to compete, or win, or whatever it is, but that's a pretty thick statistic. My daughter's playing sports as long as I can keep her in it, right? Well, I think the same, I don't know the stat, but there's got to be something that's similar for kids that play, that team sport, understand, like we talked about. Now the next piece is going to be that while the kids are playing and figure these things out, we have to allow them and understand it's their journey. You are a typical dad who played high school baseball and wants your kids to play baseball because you love baseball. But what we're going to have to figure out is, why do they want to play? And that's going to be part of this process that we're going to have to sort out. And I'm going to help you to do that in a couple minutes here. Okay? The spirit and intent of this league is that every child wants to play next season. That's the goal of the league. Because if they want to come back and play, they've done their job. Now, if you notice, it didn't say about wins and losses. It didn't say about home runs. It didn't say about World Series. It didn't say all that stuff. It said to get your child to want to come back and play next season. Right? That's it. So for me, I think that's their goal. What we have to do is identify your goal. So what you're going to do is flip this page over. So I created this quiz, and you know, there's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, there's 10 of us in the room. There's a good chance that 70, 60% of you will actually do this, and there's a few that are going to think, yeah, I kind of get it, whatever. And it's your deal. And the fact you got mom and dad here, I would take that quiz separate. The idea is to find out what you want out of this experience. So I'll give you an example. It says here, how much playing time my child receives. It's important, unimportant, slightly important, or very important, right? You just write the number down. What do you think it is for yourself? And then your child makes it to practice on time each day. Your child's skills, blah, 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 all those. And you write those out. Then what you do is, tonight, you sit down at dinner, and you ask your kids. You got twins, separator, ask them separate, and come back and compare. You might be surprised. My daughter, her first time playing, which is crazy, which was softball, her first real sport was softball. Do you know what one reason why she wanted to play? She wanted to wear a uniform because her brother had it. That was it. She didn't care about softball, even though she was actually pretty good. I mean, she could do stuff, but she didn't care. Her number one reason was because of that. But then we find going through this process is, okay, great. So now what can we add to it to make it more enjoyable for her? The warning I'll give you is this. You have to recognize, if they don't care about it, you can say, come on, buddy, don't you want to do? Yeah, okay, yeah, Dad. But realistically, what the first answer they give you, that's the real answer. Now, you can entice them through the process, and that's kind of where we come in, and Lee comes in. We'll talk to you a little bit about that. Number one is that what's the one skill? Is there a skill that you'd like outside of sports specific that we want our kids to be? Right? And did you know John Lennon, when he was a kid, they interviewed him and they asked him and said, what do you want to be when you grow up? What was his answer? Happy. They said, you don't understand the question. And he said, you don't understand the answer. Right? So we want our kids to be healthy and happy. That's what we want, right? I mean, okay. But to me, the one thing that we need our kids to be is confident. Right? And here's the crazy part. As parents, we may not be confident, but we know that if our kids are confident, if your son is confident going out there in the big great world and willing to try things and go out there and experience, that's the only way he's going to find happiness. Because internalizing and staying like this, it's not going to happen. Right? So how do we give them confidence? Well, confidence in sports comes one way. It comes from having the peace of mind of knowing that they understand what's happening. And they develop the skills to match those things. So through this process, what we can do for you, what the league can do for you, what you can do for them, is help them to understand and figure out the skill opportunities. That's what we're going to give them. So one thing that we do through my company is we have camps. And for my kids, they go to a camp every season before they play. There's my camps, Newman, anywhere, send them to camp. But make sure it's a camp or something where they can go and learn the skills so they understand. I'll give you an example. How many of your kids know the difference between first, second, and third base? Good. You're in the minority right now. Because a lot of these kids are going out there and they're going, they start running towards third base. They don't know any different, right? Or left, center, and right field. Okay, left, center, where is it, right? So you're going to have to help them through that process. If you want your child to have that, what I find is the more engaged you are in a manner that's the same page with that coach, the better success you're going to have with your child during the season. I'm not worried about you guys yelling umpires and freaking out about all the crazy stuff because you're not there, okay? You're just not. But I will say this, that if you're not careful of how you communicate with the kids, you can find yourself undermining their opportunity and you'll be in that percentage that most kids only play 2 seasons. So the game's over, and you're not at the game, and your kids are playing, your wife's there with them, and they call you up and say, honey, the game's over. What do you say? Your son is on the phone, he just got done playing, you're at work somewhere, you stepped out, you called, what's the question you ask your son?
Did you have fun?
Did you have fun? I like that. No, Dad, I didn't. Hang on, that's all right. A lot of people are going to ask it.
Why not?
Why not? Right now you got to dig, right? Okay. I know everybody's nervous coming to call. Okay. What are you going to ask? What do most parents ask?
Did you win?
Did you win? How many hits did you get, bud? Right? Did you throw anybody out? Did you catch any balls? My son played a tournament yesterday. He is a very good center fielder. He got 1 ball hit to him in 2 games. Pretty exciting day. Pretty exciting day. Right? Wow. So remember, right? So here's what happens. Even this question you have to be careful of. How did it go? When you ask a kid how did it go, what do they think? Did they win? So what I generally do is I ask questions, and I'm kind of out there, so hang with me. Remember I told you about my hippie upbringing. I said, how was the journey today, bud? How was the journey today? And then most of the time your kids are going to give you the one syllable answer, it was okay. And guess what? Leave it alone. You gotta leave it alone. What I do with my kids, and now they're a little older, but basically what I do like with Mason and Mia, when they're playing, whoever's game day it is, when the game is done, we get the call.